Growing up here in the inner cities of Albany, New York, you really had to have tough skin, man. You had to be a different breed because if not, you'll get chewed up and spit out. Man, it's a feeling of survival mode. It's a feeling that I can't explain, man. A sense of hopelessness. So much goes on right outside our doorstep that, it's hard to ignore. It's a part of our story. It's a part of my story. And, I didn't always have this positive outlook on life. It took a lot of work for me to overcome that mindset that I was once accustomed to and to, count the blessings first and foremost, that I'm still alive and able to, tell my story and, fight for a better way. But it wasn't easy. It didn't come at a free cost either, man. A lot of trauma, a lot of PTSD, a lot of paranoia, long-term effects of growing up in these harsh realities, man, right outside of our doorstep, man. Everything from gang banging and violence and homicides, shootings, to drug dealing, to, organizations, to corrupt cops, from, police brutality, all that and more, man. Unfortunately, right outside of our doorstep. Growing up for me here, man, it really... I took a turn for the worse at the young age of 14, man. Before the age of 14, man, I really had a really bright childhood, man, full of family, friends, and, just playing and being a kid. Everything from sports, school. I was thriving academically. It wasn't until the age of 14, once I started to become influenced by many other factors outside of my doorstep, and my life started to take a turn for the worse. I'm actually here sitting in the neighborhood that, when I started to take that turn for the worse at, and I wanted to give you guys a brief insight, man, a brief look at, the environments that I grew up in and some of the things that I've experienced at such a young age. So come along with me. This house here, at a really young age, man, I was involved in a drug raid, man, by Albany police detectives. I was sitting out here on the porch with some buddies of mine. We was into illegal activities, and sure enough, a bunch of detectives come swinging around this corner, down the block, up this one-way street here, and pull right up to us. I tried to take off, running through the house right there. I ran through the back, through the back up the stairs right there, and they ended up finding me in that attic up there, and they allowed the K9 to, tackle me down and bite my arm up pretty bad. Another one of my cousins was caught in this alleyway right here, and they put a pretty bad beating on him, man. I'll get into more of that story. I used to live right here in this house right here. Me and my mom used to live right here. Rest in peace. My sister used to live right downstairs here. Rest in peace, E. She's not with us anymore, man. But this was my neighborhood growing up. There used to be a project building right here where this fence is at. Nothing but, drug activity and things of that nature. I also used to live right next door to it. Before I moved over here, I used to live right here, upstairs there. In all these houses. It's a much better neighborhood now. It's a local hospital a few blocks down, and they kind of gentrified the whole neighborhood. They came in and bought everybody out and moved different type of residents in here. So it's a much better, looking neighborhood now than it once was. But all these houses here, man, just used to be, nothing but drug activity and things of that nature. It's where it all started at, man. This is literally where it all started at. Like I said, I was only 14 years old when I began to get myself involved. By the age of 16, I was full-fledged, into illegal activity, mainly dealing drugs. Give you the story about in this house here, number 35. In this house here, at the age of 16 years old, I was robbed with a shotgun to my head. Selling marijuana out this house right here. It used to be a knock door spot for us. And, I opened the spot one morning, and sure enough, two grown men came in there with a shotgun to my head, man, and took everything I had from me. I could have lost my life, man, at an early age. This neighborhood right here is called Crosstown. This is considered Crosstown. This is like in the middle of Albany, New York, in between uptown and downtown. We sit right in the middle. Most of my family is born and raised downtown New York. But Albany is such a small place that, you got friends and family everywhere. And that's kind of a gift and a curse because with all the violence that goes on, it's pretty unfortunate because we all really, tied together in some way, somehow. So, it's been so many stories of, friends that I've lost along this journey. And, unfortunately, so many times where I've been friends with the shooter and the victim, man. So, that's a real tough situation, man. That's a real tough situation, This project, you see all these buildings are run down now still. Supposedly they doing some work on these project buildings here. These project buildings here, man, we used to call them the Carter. They used to be called the Carter. It used to be nothing but drug activity up in and out of here, man. I used to sit up in these houses all the time, man, day in, day out. Sit right up in the staircase right there. And, it's unfortunate when you think about it. Right across the street here in that alleyway over here, that's when I got arrested for the very first time, man. I was only about 14 years old, and I sold some crack to an undercover cop, not even knowing any better. My ass should have been in school somewhere, and here I am thinking I'm grown. Wheeling and dealing, and I sold crack to an undercover cop. Not knowing, man. Not knowing. I still remember to this day what the dude looked like. He had on a construction outfit, as if he was on a lunch break or something. So, I was so naive to the streets, not knowing that's how the police operate. And sure enough, they came back and arrested me with a sealed indictment, man. My very first charge, at the age of 16. The street here looks much better now, man. All these houses used to be so ran down, man. Nothing but activity, nothing but illegal activity. Don't get me wrong, man. It was full of love, man. That's the thing about these poverty-stricken neighborhoods, man. You become so tight-knit. That it's, it's just love all around, man. You can feel, I got arrested on this corner one day, man. I came walking around the corner. There was a blue and white police officer standing right there on the corner, and he called my name as I was walking right here. I had a mouthful of crack. We used to sell crack at the time, and that's what we used to do, man. Unfortunately, had to store it, when you're out here wheeling and dealing in the streets like this, hand in hand. We used to store it in our mouth, man, keep it in sandwich baggies and keep some in our mouth. And unfortunately, the rest of it would get concealed, in our buttocks, man. As crazy as it may sound, this was a life for us. But yeah, the officer, he was standing over there. I was walking here. He see me walking the corner. He called my name. As soon as he called my name, I just took off running right here. He came chase me. I tried to get rid of my stuff over here somewhere. They end up finding it. I ended up going to jail. I spent a lot of days and time in jail, man. It was just a ongoing cycle, man, that, seemed to just be a normal way of life. This was it, man. We just had to, work on being a smarter criminal was the mentality. There was never no hopes on, doing better in life or overcoming these type of, obstacles. It's unfortunate because, the world missed out on so much potential, man. Some of the most talented, individuals I've ever met, come across, man, come from these parts and stuff, What Jada say? Why is a brother up north better than Jordan? I ain't get that break, man. And he ain't never lied. He ain't never lied, man. There's so many young peers that done lost their life out here that, never even got a chance to begin life, man. Never even got a chance to begin life. Something that always stuck out to me was when I learned about, your prefrontal cortex, man. That part of your brain, man, and the front part of your brain that part of your brain that allows you to make rational decisions, you know? That part of your brain doesn't even develop fully until you're roughly 25 years old. Roughly 25 years old, man. You know how many of my peers done lost their lives before then, or is gone away doing a lifetime in prison, you know, by the time they reach 18, 19, just to acting off of impulse and things of that nature, man. You know, this right here, man, me and my guys, we used to run this whole house, basically. It was all family. You know, we would be flooded outside this porch area, standing here. Everyone's looking to get their drugs off. You know, we used to stash drugs and stuff in these alleyways, you know, and it was just nonstop traffic, cars just coming through, or, you know, users coming through, you know. And, this was right outside of our doorstep, man, you know, and it's kind of, to me, it was kind of always a tough pill to swallow, man, when, you know, we'd get arrested. When I would get arrested and have to go away, you know, to prison or something like that, like knowing that I was always out here with good intentions, man. I wasn't never trying to harm nobody. I wasn't never one for the violence. I did partake in my share of violent acts and stuff like that. You know, that just comes with the territory. But for the most part, man, I was always just trying to put food on the table. I was always just trying to fight for a better way, you know? So it's like, you know, and then when you really get into the real deep shit about it, the whole systematic approach to the, you know, these minority poverty-stricken neighborhoods, you know, and how the consequences against us are much more harsh, man. You know, it's really messed up when you think, you know, who even puts these drugs here, man? You know, they throw us in these pits, man, and, you know, they think we ain't gonna survive, you know? But, you know, it's a blessing into that because, like I said, man, if nothing else, we know how to survive. We know how to survive, man, you know? So that's why, you know, as much as I want better in life, I'm mad at myself for being almost 40 years old and not wanting to be where I want to be in life. Man, that's all right because I'm here, I'm breathing. I'm able to tell my story. I'm able to wake up and still shoot for the stars, man. I can get into so many stories of people that I know, man. I'm sure you can do the same. And it's unfortunate, man. We only get one life to live, you know? And all I can say is experience is the best teacher, man. That's all I can say. Experience is really the best teacher. Look, man, I just wanted to give you guys a little walk around in my neighborhood, you know, where I was residing when my life started to take a turn for worse. As you can see, like I said, man, this house right behind me here, man. This is my family house, man. This is my family house. I got it tore up. You know, they came with a spot raid with my name on the warrant, you know, due to illegal activity. And, you know, they tore the house up, man. My kid, my little cousins, all their gaming systems, Auntie PC. You know, matter of fact, rest in peace, Aunt Shirley. She just passed not too long ago. Rest in peace, Auntie. But, you know, they called me right upstairs in that attic up there, man. And it was a whole scene out here, man. I was like a popular young kid, so, you know, they had the news out here because my older cousin got beat up in the alleyway by the police, you know. It was just quite an experience, man. I was only, you know, probably 16, 17 years old, man. Like I said, man, right down the street down there, man. I got robbed with a shotgun to my head, man. I was only 16 years old. I could have lost my life, you know? So, I'm gonna get into more of those stories, man. You know, I just wanna say that part of me was never even gonna speak up on these stories, even though so long, you know, I've been wanting to because, you know, I could capitalize off of these type of experiences now. You know, they always been causing such harmful effects on my life to where, why not make a positive out of it now? Why not share my insight with others, man, and possibly stop someone else from making the decisions I made and things of that nature. So, you know, that's what my motivation is, man. I hope y'all can appreciate, you know, my realness, man, and, you know, what I got to offer to you guys.